Come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the press, the Down Beach Current, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the municipal website, filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Would you please turn off your electronic equipment? We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody stand. Attention, salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Johanna, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Here.
We have before us for approval minutes of our July 23rd meetings, August 6th and August 13th.
Make the motion for approval. Second.
Johanna?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will go to public comment. At this public comment period, you have 3 minutes. You may speak on any subject. Is there?
My name's Joel Naroff. I'm at 223 North Washington Avenue. 7 weeks ago, my wife and I made presentations to you concerning Maynard's Cafe's violations of laws and zoning regulations that were causing significant problems for our neighborhood. Maynard's has substituted a sound system that is in violation of its zoning agreement, a sound system that was the linchpin of the entire agreement. Without it, there is no agreement. We also pointed out health and safety violations that, if left unchallenged, could place customers and residents at risk and potentially expose the city to legal liability. We asked you to take action. You have done nothing. Your willingness to allow Maynard's Cafe to violate laws raises a simple question. Are there any laws in Margate? Or is, for example, the zoning code just a voluntary set of guidelines? Can the city ask any other business to follow the city's rules, laws, or code if it is perfectly acceptable for Maynard's to do what it pleases with impunity? For example, if the greenhouse decides to play music on its deck until midnight, how can you stop them? Can you claim they have to follow their zoning code when you have allowed other businesses to violate theirs? By allowing the code to be violated at will by a business owner with the apparent approval of the commissioners and the city solicitor, there is simply no code. And what does this mean for the city solicitor, who argued that Maynard's would install the sound system and that all DJs and bands would use that sound system, not any outside amplifiers? If code requirements are not being enforced for Mr. Abbott's client, why should they be enforced for any other lawyer's client? Indeed, Mr. Abbott could become the star witness in any lawsuit the city files against a business that violates city laws or code. He would have to explain why he refused to send a cease and desist order to sue Maynard's, his client, but he filed suit against a business that was not his client. City Solicitor Abbott's failure to make sure his client follows the city's code has destroyed his standing as a legal representative of the city. Instead, he is the poster child for the city's failure to enforce its code and its willingness to allow businesses to violate the code, especially his clients. The actions of the commissioners and the city solicitor have created the clear impression that Margate is not a city of laws, but a city where rules have to be followed by some, but not by others. Finally, I want to reiterate what my wife said in July. We resent the idea that we are considered the problems. Maynard's law and code violations are the problem. We do not appreciate being blamed for expecting the city commissioners to actually enforce its own laws. And we greatly resent being threatened by a commissioner. Mr. Amadeo called us to discuss adding police presence near Maynard's. Over 160 summonses were written in just 3 weeks, showing how desperately that presence is needed. When we raised the issue of Maynard's illegal sound system, Mr. Amadeo reacted sharply. He told us he knew Steve Troiano for decades, and he indicated he would do what he had to protect Maynard's. He noted that the city was revising its code, and Maynard's would not be affected. I guess he is going to grandfather Maynard's so the bar can continue its violations forever. And then he said, "You don't want to make me your enemy." This threat made it clear it was Maynard's, not the neighborhood, that he was looking after. It is amazing that Commissioner Amadeo thinks that late-night baseball is such a horror that his home needs to be protected against it.
15
That blue
seconds,
lights
Mr.
coming from a
Nara.
house... Excuse me?
15 seconds.
I'm sorry?
15
Okay,
seconds.
I'll be done in 5.
Thank
That
you.
blue lights coming from a house need to be outlawed, but an all-night beer and music party is good for our neighborhood. We are not the problem, we are the victims. We don't deserve to be threatened. The commission and the city solicitor need to do their job and enforce the city's laws.
Thank you, Mr. Nara. Is there any other public comment?
I'm not going to cut it. First off, I never made a statement to the guy.
Should we comment to the comment?
Apparently Maynard's, Sewell 22 West Drive, apparently Maynard's never took the advice of my blessed grandmother, May O'Connor. She said, "Jono, God invented whiskey so the Irish couldn't rule the world." But on a more cogent, more pressing issue, I passed out the blue sheet here. I see the mayor's got his flipped over because it's an issue of continual denial that we have an ever-shrinking school population. It's dramatically shrinking. We have a mere 363 Margate pupils, and we have a grossly out-of-balance administration for that system. They could all easily, comfortably fit into the Thai school if they were given the proper encouragement. And you have to understand that the taxpayers are paying a humongous $7 million extra each and every year. Vendors willing to take not only K to 4, but they would be magnanimous enough to take K to 8 and only charge $8,800. We, with our $13 million yearly school budget, are paying over $28,000. So I know the mayor has trouble with math, so I'll do the math for him. And it's every 50 pupils saving $20,000. The difference between $28,000 and $8,800 would be $1 million. And if you divide the 50 into 360, you would see that there are 7 of those millions of dollars. So the Margate taxpayers, which has a superabundance of senior citizens, are being unduly burdened by a $7 million additional taxation each and every year. And, you know, a lot of things have been said about the vendor school system, but you know, the proof is in the pudding. I believe, Mr. Abbott, did you go to the vendor school system?
I did.
See, there's a stellar example. But we don't have to look those decades ago, those ages ago. We can look at the most recent graduating class from that zoo called the Atlantic City High School. 4 out of 10 of the top academic performers came from Ventnor's high school, grade school. And not only that, the number 1 academic performer happened to be a Ventnor student. So I think they're getting a above par education. And I think Commissioner Blumberg could tell you what you could get a superlative Jesuit education at the Grace Academy, better known as Holy Spirit.
15 seconds, John.
And you could get for about $8,000, you get calculus, physics, Greek, Latin, all of which you really couldn't get in the Margate grade school system.
I think it was only $5,000 when I went there, John.
But that was when money was money. But for $8,000, they'll give you a first-class Jesuit education, including Sir Isaac Newton's calculus theory, whereby the elliptical orbit of the planets was calculated. Comes in very handy if you're a NASA mayor. So let's think about closing Ross today, or at least at the end of the school year. There's plenty of room in Thai, and if you don't think you have enough room there, my Gumball Paisan, Albert Battaglia, will be more than glad to take K and 4 off your hands and give them a first-class education.
Is there any other public comment? There's a motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Johanna?
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
We'll now open public comment on resolutions. Is there any public one want to speak to that?
Sewell, 22 West Drive. I hate to impose upon you, Mayor, since you didn't have a first-class Jesuit education, but we're going to do a little mathematics. Your undivided attention to Resolution 156-2015, Mayor. What's the largest single item in that long list, Mayor? Can you use your decimal points and commas to figure out which it might be?
What is it, John?
Oh, Mayor, come on, I want to see how good your math is.
Bill list. Is it taxes to the county?
Oh, that's a good Jesuit student.
How much was that, John? Was it $3.8 million?
Yes, it was, Mayor. Was that a quarterly amount, Mayor? Since you're on a roll mathematically, Mayor, was that a quarterly payment?
Yes, it is, John.
Okay. Year over year, how much of an increase has it been? Percentages from Holy Spirit? Algebra 1?
Gonna have to defer to the mayor on that, John.
Yeah, the mayor. Geld should be the topic number 1. You know what the Rebbe said? Geld is Wund, dabei geht es weg. Profound observation. So, Mayor, what was last year's payment to the county over this year's $3.886 million? Do we have that number on the tip of your tongue there?
I do not, John. The new county tax rate hasn't even gone into effect yet.
Well, that's my point, Mayor. That's my point. We happen to have not only a solid Jesuit scholar here, but we have an assemblyman who couldn't quite get Mr. White out and his free apple pies for the messenger ballots. So we had a squeaker. But the point is, Mayor, that you as mayor, Sonny McCullough, and a host of other mayors should get in Mr. Amadeo's truck or van or whatever he has and make a trip up to Trenton to get that deal that was cut on the pilot program between Denny Levinson and Don Guardian. And I wouldn't leave that supersized rhino's office until you get that agreement and get it in writing, because it's going to make an enormous difference in the rate of county taxation. And I think it's up to our former assemblyman to head this group up
You can try.
and to show up. That Gunda Paisan festival peddler on the other side.
15 seconds, John.
I don't need 15 seconds, but I've said enough today.
Thank you. Anyone else? The motion to close public comment on
I'll make
resolutions.
that motion. Second.
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
Okay. Johanna, will you do the resolutions, please?
A motion for number 148, Colmar Home Center, which was carried from August 6th.
So moved. Second.
Mayor Becker,
No.
I recuse myself.
you abstain?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
A motion for number 156, authorizing bill payment and claims.
So
I'll make that
moved.
motion.
I'll
Second.
second it. Third.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
A motion for number 157, Colmar Home Center, bill payment.
Yes. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Resolution number 158, annual renewal of 2015-2016 ABC municipal liquor license.
I'll make that motion. And I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Resolution number 159, authorizing receipt of bids and advertising for the 2013 CDBG Beach Bulkhead Access Project.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 160, authorizing award of contract for 2014 road program to Asphalt Paving Systems, Inc.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you, Joanna. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Johanna?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here.